Hello and welcome back to Cataclysm Dark Days Ahead. Now, McJester has gone ahead and disassembled a lot of things. I did have a look at the solar panels CBM. I thought, oh, maybe if I can install more of them, I'll charge up faster. And they're like, no. It only allows you to install it once. But on the plus side, I was able to take it apart. And it gave me loads of solar cells so they can go in my car. Now, my electronic skill is at 5 with 10% to the next level. Not amazing, but, you know, it'll do. Let's see, was there anything else? I more or less just took things apart. McJester hasn't slept yet. Poor old McJester. But I have had a look at the various CBMs. These ones, the power storages and the alarms, are all more or less the same success rate, 92%, i.e. almost certainly going to work. However, these ones, the interesting ones, unfortunately, pretty much anything that produces power, like the actual power sources themselves, are about 76%, but the integrated toolset and the internal storage are even lower. They're only 60%. Now, I'm not sure how I feel about McJester trying to plug things into himself with such a low chance, but McJester has basically told me, yo, dude, I'm McJester. It's not going to go wrong. I'm awesome. So, I mean, I can't argue with that. However, I'm going to try and mount the odds in his favor. Well, let's give him a little bit of methamphetamines. Let's see if this can help. Boom. You snort some crystals. You can't finish it all. Okay. Intelligence 15. 105, I wish. But no. Intelligence 15. Okay. No, I want to check his... Yes, he's very... Wow, he really enjoyed those. Okay, not sure how I feel about that. But okay, he's plus 50% at the moment, thanks to high on meth, and his intelligence is vastly improved. Let's just see. Oh no, I've gone one too far again. Okay, dexterity. I don't think that really affects anything. Well, it is time to try. No good. Beating around the bush. Let's start with the most difficult ones to install first, and that's going to be the integrated toolset. I've only got a 70% chance. Well, that's good because it was like 67% normally. Let's try it then. Go! Successfully installed! McJester now has little bits and bobs poking out of him all the time. Actually, there's a way for us to check that. Let me just figure out what that key is. Let's see. We want to view Bionics. Let's see. Where are you? There we are. P. P for superpowers. Passives, integrated toolset, and solar panels. Active, cranial alarm. It takes 1 power every 3 turns. We can only store 4 of them. We're currently set to activate. We now want to examine. So there we are. Mounted between your eyes is a small but powerful LED. Now, what's integrated toolset say? Implanted in your hands and fingers is a complete tool set. Screwdriver, hammer, wrench, and heating elements. You can use this in place of many tools when crafting. So now we can weld. We've got all the tools we'll need for welding. We can also actually purify water, I think, using the heating elements in his integrated tool set. And in fact, actually use that as a fire. We no longer need the brazier. But the thing is, it's going to use power. And depending on how we're powering him, if, like, he's you know, gone sunbathing for an afternoon, he's topped up on power, he's got a huge reserve of energy, then yeah, we can be frivolous with that. But if he was, you know, having to top that up using alcohol or batteries, things which we don't have a lot of, then yeah, we probably want to use the regular tools where we can. But it does now mean that for the sake of going around and breaking stuff down when we're out and about, like raiding and stuff, we no longer need to carry these around. I don't know about the scissors. I think we probably need to still bring that. I don't think we need the soldering iron, but we'll keep that on us. Yeah, we'll just drop those off for now, I think. While the meth is still in his system, I'm not sure if I took some more, whether it would bump the intelligence even more, but I really don't want McJester to get addicted to anything. Because I would just force him to come off it, cold turkey, and it would not be good times for McJester. And I don't want to put him through that, man. You know, he's like family at this point. Right. Now, we can either go for the internal storage, which is kind of frivolous, but still quite hard to install. Only 66% chance. No, I think we'll wait. We'll wait on that one. The extra volume units, yes, they'd be... I'm talking myself into doing something stupid here. How much is the chance on the battery system? Sod it. McJester, I'm sure he can do it. He can do everything else. Go for it. Yes! McJester, you're amazing. I think you can keep installing those as well. Let me just show you what it says about them. Let's switch to examining and internal storage. Space inside your chest cavity has been converted into a storage area. You may carry an extra 8 units of volume. Now, I'm fairly sure you can just keep plugging these in. I think you can just keep going as many storage things as you want, much like the power boosts, the power storage. I'm not sure how he keeps making this extra room in his chest cavity because, you know, having to bunch around his organs, I can't imagine that's very comfortable for him. But apparently, you know, maybe at some point it becomes like an n-dimensional space and it's just a point universe inside his chest. But yeah, so he can store things in there. That's pretty cool. Now, we've got an internal furnace, an ethanol burner, and a battery system. Let's check out the internal furnace. What's this one do? You can burn nearly any organic material as fuel, recharging your power level. Some materials will burn better than others. Now we can use clothing, I think, for this. So, I think this is the one we're going to go for. Yes, go for it. Yes! McJester, you're doing amazingly well. Shall we go further? Shall we keep pushing the boundaries of science? I think we might. Let's see. We've got the ethanol burner and the battery system. Now, the ethanol burner, I'm not sure about this one because he'll get drunk. Yes, he'll imbibe the alcohol. It'll go down to his system and then it'll get burnt in the ethanol burner. However, it'll still enter his blood and he'll still get drunk. If you can get a system called blood filtration system, you can use a little bit of power to completely purge any non-necessary chemicals from your blood system. And that would pretty much stop him being drunk. So you could literally... He could go to a bar and clear the shelves, become paralytic, and then one pop, blood filter, one action, one small amount of power, and completely sober again. I'll leave it until we've actually got a blood filtration system because, unfortunately, McJester, though he is a martial artist, isn't practiced in the way of the drunken fist. You can get that with NPCs, and I haven't actually checked whether they're active or not. But let's try the battery system. You have a battery draining attachment, and thus can make use of the energy contained in normal, everyday batteries. Use E to consume batteries. 77%. Come on, McJester. Everyone cross your fingers. Successful! McJester can now eat clothes and eat batteries to power himself up. How amazing is this? Or he can just, you know, bask in the sun for a bit. Though, remember your sunblock, because you just don't rub it on your solar panels, but the rest of your body does not like the sun, Jester. The sun is bad, and it will cook you. Take my word for it. Trust me, I know what I'm talking about with the sun. The sun and me are old enemies. And there's a moderate amount of respect between us, but old enemies nonetheless. Now, these should be easy to install, and so I'm going to go ahead. The alarm system... A motion-detecting alarm will notice almost all movement within 15 feet radius, even though I've asked you to do metric, not imperial, you stupid game. And will silently alert you. This is very useful during sleep, or if you suspect a cloaked pursuer. Now, the idea of a cloaked pursuer, that is horrifically terrible. I don't even know why they would do that to us. But, yay! Alarm system is now installed. I'm not sure if this uses power or not. Oh, yes, it does. Uses a little bit of power for 400 turns worth of time. So, yeah, we'll use that if we were going to sleep, I suppose. Probably not in here because we're fairly certain that we're safe. But might be useful. Now, let's go ahead and start powering up. Activate. 93% chance. Yep. Activate. 93, yep. Let's keep going. Oh, he's doing well. He's on a roll. Can this man do nothing to stop? Oh, damn it. Pain. We're in pain. Oh, wait. Has it broken it? It has. Never mind. There's one lost. I can live with this. We were pushing the boundaries there, Jester. I mean, it's fair to say. Let's keep going, though, with what we've got left. Yeah, and the last one. Yes. So we've one failure, ironically, on the easiest thing we had to install. But I think that was a very, very successful run of installing cybernetics into you. You are now a cyborg, McJester, officially. I mean, you were kind of one before, but you were kind of a lame cyborg because you weren't able to store much power, and your cyborg powers allowed you to turn on a flashlight. Yeah, you know, I'm not going to say anything, but yeah. However, you are now actually quite powerful, and we've got a remarkable amount of ammonia and bleach. We've got loads of tainted meat downstairs, and we've even got, I believe, some... Where are they? Oh, there it is. We've got 2-gallon jugs of water. So all is going well for us at the moment. Wow. Now then, with all of this amazingness, let's see, have any skills gone up? Electronics is almost up to 6. I think there are some awesome things we can do at 6. And first aid is going up really fast as well. Can we... No, there's nothing to really apply the first aid to, unfortunately. Now, one interesting thing with first aid is as that skill goes up, the effect of drugs becomes more potent and lasts longer, from what I understand. Not necessarily negative drugs, you know, you don't get messed up for longer, well, but I don't know, maybe you do. But good drugs, things like that, basically you improve the drugs usage. However, improving might affect those sorts of drugs. We've got the burnt out bionic there. I can't break down the cranial flashlights, unfortunately, so they're just going to sit there for now. Right then. I think, though, we want to spend a little bit of time today crafting things. So, let's have a look at what we can craft. We've got a load of things under electronics, like a stupid amount. Let me show you, because I don't think I've actually gone over this. You've seen antenna and amplifier circuit. We can now make a power converter, a signal receiver, a transponder circuit, a light strip. We could always do that. We can make flashlights, soldering irons, batteries. That requires an aluminium can, so it's good that we've been keeping them. A chunk of steel, scrap metal, a steak knife, steel crossbow bolt, or a butter knife. Now, there is now a reason for me to collect those bloody butter knives and some ammonia to make the batteries, but it'll make 100 of them, so that's not too bad. We can make an extra battery mod to plug into things. So, for example, I could make one of those to plug into our MP3 player. So the MP3 player could hold more batteries and could be used for a longer period of time, or a flashlight or whatever you want. But now we've got a cranial flashlight, and I think we can actually store an enormous amount of power. We can store 40 power, so yeah, we should be okay for that for a while. Now let's get back to electronics and continue looking down. We can make noise emitters. Oh, right. If you just use a full-on radio and 2 amplifier circuits, or you can just build one from the ground up. But from what I understand, this is, for all intents and purposes, for those who've seen Dune or better, read the books, this is a thumper. Throw it out, it emits a lot of noise. Probably going to, not as useful for zombies, because I can take them on easily enough, unless they were like a horde of them, but then I generally carry around zombie pheromones. But for the worms, I think that would probably be a particularly good one. We haven't seen those yet in this Let's Play, but yeah. We don't really want to. Radio, water purifier, a hot plate for cooking food. Basically these two do the main things. This purifies water and this cooks food without a fire, but instead using batteries. But I think we can now do that just using the integrated tool set. Taser, two-way radio, electro hack. Now, from what I understand, an electro hack gives you a good chance of hacking like a door control, but cannot hack a computer. So, yeah, you know, not really that useful for us, because, I mean, there's copious amounts of IDs. We've got dozens of scientific IDs, and it's not like we can't find more. There's going to be loads around. EMP grenade, that would be pretty cool for taking out turrets. We'd need some scrap metal or an aluminium can. Yeah, we can make an EMP grenade fairly easily, honestly. And you notice that the screwdriver or integrated tool set, to use the screwdriver, hammer, or that sort of thing, doesn't require a charge. It only requires a charge to to perform the function of one of the charged tools. So, for example, a heating element or a soldering iron. We can make a Geiger counter. I'm not sure why we'd want one, because surely if there's somewhere that's full of radiation, we'd want to go there and become super mutants. Now, a UPS. This is a unified power supply. It's a device developed jointly by military and scientific interests for use in combat and in the field. The UPS is designed to power armor and some guns, but drains batteries quickly. Now, this can have a maximum charge of 1,000 batteries. That is an awful lot. But there are a few things that we could build that would use them. A coil gun. This fires nails and draws power from a UPS. There is also... I mean, there's various things all throughout this that have been unlocked because of electronics, but these are the ones that I've spotted that are of specific interests. The light amplification goggles. Now, they drain from the UPS as well. I guess like the flashlight, cranial flashlight would, but doesn't give anything else the ability to see us. If we use a flashlight, we light up. You know, the beam of the flashlight lets anything see that beam, much in real life, as you can imagine. But the light amplification goggles just means that we get enhanced vision at night, or in low light conditions. So that might be very useful. Now, I don't know how that would deal in a lab or anywhere that's like underground, because I mean, the thing with light amp goggles or night vision or anything like that, it amplifies light that's there. If you're in a pitch black room, though, it still can't see anything because it's, you know, there's no light there for it to amplify. So, yeah, maybe it wouldn't work in the lab, but if it did, wow. And we'd need ski goggles or welding goggles and 5 scrap metal, and that's all we would need for this. I think maybe we could do that. Yeah, let's go ahead and make a UPS and light amp goggles, and this may push our electronics over 7. I don't know. We need 4... Well, we're going to need quite a bit of scrap metal, actually. Let's go gather some. Now, we got a lot of scrap metal from taking apart all of that stuff, so we should be able to get plenty. Let's take 10. Right then. No. Wrong. Stupid. Alright, we want a UPS. Let's go ahead and see if we can make that. Yay! We got a UPS. Fantastic. Oh, we're coming down now. Oh, wow, our speed is messed up. Meth come down. The higher it takes us, the lower we fall. Ouch. Strength 6, dexterity 7, and intelligence 9. Not good. Strength has been really, really badly hit. My lord. Okay, so we've got a UPS now. Let's also try to make the light amplification goggles. Okay, it's not showing up anyway. What do we... Oh, we need the welding goggles. Now, I've got a couple of pairs of those, so it's not going to hurt to use one. But let's just double check that I do. Yeah, we've got plenty. We'll take one of the welding goggles. Now, I believe that you still need welding goggles even when you're using the integrated tool set to weld. It makes sense, you know, a welder is going to generate a certain amount of light, whether it's being done by an actual welder or you're using some crazy cybernetic finger tricks to do it. So, yeah, we're going to have to keep at least one around for when we're actually working on the car. Now, where are you, light amp goggles? Good luck. Now, this is at our difficulty level here. But don't waste any materials. Fantastic. Let's try again then. Oh, gone too far. Let's hope we don't waste anything. Oh, yes! It worked! Right, how many batteries have we got? We've got enough to completely fill the UPS. Ooh. How heavy is the UPS, though? It's very heavy, actually. Ooh, that's not good. But, you know, it's going to be useful. What's our electronics at? Oh, we're so close to level 6. I wonder what new funky things we'd unlock then. Okay, let's load the UPS then. Reload, where are you? There we go. The UPS now has 1,000 batteries in it. Well, is there anything else we want to load? No. Actually, we could load the soldering iron. And then drop the remainder of the batteries. Actually, no, we won't drop them just yet. Let's go ahead and wear our light amp goggles. Your eyes are very encumbered. Range combat is hampered. Oh well. So, we've got the light amp goggles now. They only cover the eyes. Yes, they do. At the end of this episode, I'll actually jiggle around his inventory so that he's wearing things in certain orders. Now, I don't think we turn on the light amp goggles. No. Putting on a none would be tricky. Okay. Light amp goggles, I'd like to activate it. Okay, then maybe I've just got to activate the UPS first. Activate. Oh, wow. Everything is green. Craziness. But awesome nonetheless. Look at that. We can see the world. Wow, we really can. This is kind of freaky, though. Wow, wow, that is actually kind of cool that it does that it actually makes everything green. Now, how fast is it draining? Whoa, that's draining batteries fast. My lord, that's not a good thing. Okay, well, we've played around enough. Let's turn that off. Turn that off. Okay. I'm not sure how useful that's going to be, considering how much it drains. Bloody hell. And it takes up so much room. Well, I suppose we could take these things out specifically for night operations. Let's drop it for now, and the light amp goggles as well. There we go. Still, that was pretty cool. Now, is there anything else that I would particularly want to make with electronics that might help us? If I make an EMP grenade, it might be useful to have at least one. The extra battery mod actually looks interesting. Yeah, okay, we'll make one of those. Let's see. Transponder circuit? No. Yeah, let's make an extra battery mod for our MP3 player, if nothing else. It's not what I wanted to do. Doesn't seem to want to let me gather. Why? Why will you not let me take these things? Okay, I'll just take them the old-fashioned way then. Right. Let's go ahead and make ourselves an extra battery mod. At least one. How close are we now? Oh, that's 5%. Right, what do we want to plug that in? We want to plug it in the... Oh, we could plug it in the taser as well. That would actually be quite a good thing. Okay. Let's see then. Oh, we could even plug it in the UPS, so that, given how much that uses, I'm not sure I would want to. Right. With enough electronic skill, you could attach this to your devices to increase blah, blah, blah. Let's try. Let's put it on the taser first. You double the battery capacity of it. It now can carry as many batteries as the UPS. Wow. Yeah, you know what? Let's make a couple of these, and we'll stick one on the UPS as well, just because. I wonder if you can just keep adding them, because if you can... Oh, wow. Did we get more map data? No, it looks like it's just the same amount of map data as last time. Oh, well, that's not too bad. Oh, there's lots of people. Yeah, I must have left this on. Okay, well, there's NPCs we can go and either trade things with or kill. One or the other, you know. Let's go ahead and take some of these. No, you're not going to let me take any? Oh, there we go. Right, let's make ourselves some more battery mods. So we want one for the UPS and one for the MP3 player. Oh, is there anything else I want to put extra batteries on? I could put one on the flashlight, just for old time's sake. I probably won't though. Let's apply this to the UPS first. Wow, that can now carry a lot. The MP3 player as well. So, okay. Activate MP3 player. Fantastic. Let's go ahead and make one more of these and see if I can apply it again to something like the UPS. Now, the thing is, the taser can now carry 1,000. The UPS should be able to carry 2,000. Will this let me do that? Activate it on the UPS? No. Okay. That makes sense. It would be a bit hacks to keep doubling it. Okay, well, I guess I could just apply this to the soldering iron. As I've said, it's useful to have, but... Let's see, are we over? Yes, we're on 6 electronics. The other thing I could do, actually, come to think of it, is I could just leave it here in case there is something else that I want to use it for eventually. Yeah, that makes sense. Let's go ahead and drop the UPS back on the ground. Ah, this is glorious. Yeah, I may as well reload the taser with as many batteries as it can eat. Alright, there we go. We've now used up all our batteries. That isn't as good, honestly. But let's have a quick look, see if there's any new stuff that we can make with electronics. Now, the easy way to check is this. Oh, yeah, there we are. What? Oh, what? We can make an inactive Manhack. I don't want to alarm anyone, but we can now make an inactive Manhack. It requires 2 spikes, though, and I think we've only got 1. Wow. That's remarkably awesome. I think everyone will agree. And I'm fairly sure that if you deploy it... Oh, we can make spikes. And that's what we need. Yeah, we can make spikes out of scrap metal. Fantastic. 9 scrap metal, though. Wow, that's a lot. Or 1 combat knife. Shall we do it? I think we should, honestly. Science demands that we explore the possibilities. Okay? I accept. Let us make another spike. Out of a combat knife. Have we got another spike here? No? Have we got a spike over here? I was sure we had a spike somewhere. Really? We have no spikes? Ah, there we are. A spike. Now then. Well, I'll have a look at what else we can make first, because this seems like it might be... I'm getting carried away a little bit. So, we can make metal tanks. We can now make that. Awesome. So we can make a metal tank. We could put this on the car to fill it with extra gas tanks, or even a water tank. If we, I'm not sure why we'd do that. Though I suppose that would really help if for some reason we had to go into town to get water, because we could just ferry the water and fill up the water tank. We can make hard plating, various platings. Let's look for things that require electronic skill. Anything new in MISC? No, miscellaneous has no new electronics requiring things. Now, we're looking for something that has a primary skill of electronics, not a secondary. There we go. Light amp goggles. Nope. Okay. Right. Anything new in here? Now, generally, these things tend to follow the... Oh, wow. We can make our own power storage CBMs. We need a plutonium cell. Yeah, that's not going to happen. Oh, I guess we could take it out of the teleporter if we wanted to. We don't require it for power armor interface. I don't have any power armor, but should I ever get some, then I know what I can do with it. I'd be very, very amused if there were electronic stuff in food. But no, that looks like that's all we've got. We've just unlocked a few CBMs and a Manhack. We can now make our own little robot guardians. We can also make a chainsaw, but we've been able to do that for a little while by the looks of it. That's pretty cool, though. Okay. Well, and the last thing I'm going to do in this episode, we're going to try and make a Manhack. We've got an inactive Manhack. How amazing is this? Let's check you out. An inactive Manhack. Manhacks are fist-sized robots that fly through the air. They are covered with whirring blades and attack by throwing themselves against their target. Use this item to activate the Manhack. Now, from what I understand, it's not going to attack us. It's our friend. It'll identify us as an ally I don't think it'll specifically try to defend us. It'll just attack anything that's hostile to us. So we might be getting beaten up by a zombie brute while it's like obsessed with trying to kill a blob. I'm not sure, but regardless, pretty cool. If we can make an army of these and take them down to the blobs, maybe we can recover hope. Maybe we can fight for hope. Yeah, that sounds cool. Let's see whether we get to that in the next episode. Probably not, because I think we're going to repair our car, if nothing else. And then, though, we'll go and try to retake hope with Manhacks. Hope to see you in the next episode. But until then, do take care.